And then go live here. And go live here. There we go. So where are we? Here we are. Oh, and let me pull this up on my phone so I can tell if anybody pops up. So hold on a second.
I was thinking of, I just looked at your name, Master of Habit Change.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking this name came to me. I just kind of ignored it and just thought of it when I saw that.
Hold on just a second. One of these things is talking to me. Let's see which one it is. A second. One of these things is talking to me. Let's see. Where is the volume? One of these things is talking. I can hear it everywhere. So let's see. It must be. I can hear it everywhere. So let's see. It must be. Don't you love it?
Uh-huh.
I can hear it everywhere. Don't you love it? Okay, that one. Okay. Is it gone now?
I don't hear it.
Okay.
You're better than me. I couldn't.
Okay, let's see. It says we're having trouble streaming. It looks like it's streaming in Facebook. So, well, let me open up another window with it and see if it's showing it. Hold on. It looks there. So give me a second. It looks live. So I guess we're good. All right. Hello, Wendy. Can you see us fine? Maybe it rectified because it's.
Does she say she can see us?
She just said good evening. Oh, man. I think it's doing the same thing it did last time. Shit.
What's it doing?
It's putting it where it's just me.
Oh.
Happy to be here. So happy to have you here too. So can you see both of us or just one of us? Let me go back over to our settings here. You can see both of us? Oh, you can just see me. Okay. So hold on just a second. Let me settings. Stream view. Give me just a second. It's not. All right. So I think what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to pop off for just a second and then come right back. So just stay right there, Wendy. We'll be right back. Okay.
Let me leave studio.
No, hold on.
Oh, okay.
I don't think you have to go anywhere. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back over to Facebook. So if anybody's here on one of the other platforms, we're trying to get a hold of some technical difficulties right here. Let's see if it'll. Technical difficulties, don't you love them?
Always.
So give me just a minute. She says now she can see you.
Oh, good.
How is that possible? I took it off of Facebook.
Oh, I don't know.
All right, so give me just a second. Let me make sure. Par for course, yes, that's true. All right, so it says it's being used over there, so all right, so you can see her, both of us now, right? Okay, it's showing checked now. So obviously I did something.
Like I said, better than me.
Well, I used to get so flustered when something like that would happen that I would just say, well, just forget the whole doggone thing, and I would stop. And now I just try to work through it. And then if nothing else, we can click out and we can come back. So that's why I didn't want you to go anywhere. So yay. So I'm so glad to have you here, Heather. And let me just look real quick and see who was supposed to, said they wanted to be part of this and make sure that they get notified. So who? Now I know Kimmy's not going to be here. She messaged me earlier that one of her grandchildren was being rushed to the hospital and it's just a few months old for some kind of breathing thing. So, so let me just shoot a message real quick, or maybe I'll just put, I don't think I used at everyone this morning. Let's just see. All right, we'll do it that way. And then, all right. So we are going to go ahead. I know, Wendy, where you're coming in from. You're in Miami, and it's so good to have Miami in the house. And me, I'm in Georgia, and then Heather is in Pennsylvania. So we're just all over the globe, right? So we'll just keep our eyes open for when some others might pop in, because we had quite a few people said they were going to be here. So maybe they will pop in a moment. So Wendy, do you have, I hope they're okay as well. I told her we were going to be saying prayers. So that's one of the reasons why I mentioned her, was so anybody that wants to say a prayer for her grandchild, and it's her son's child. So the son and the mom probably need some prayers too. If hopefully it's I think it was a little boy, I think. But hopefully he's doing just fine. But it's a lot of anxiety, anytime a child is sick, especially when they're really young, because I think she said like 3 months old or something like that. So yeah. So on a bright note, we are all here tonight, and I'm really grateful for Heather coming in to share with us. And I did share earlier this morning when I talked about how when I talked to you about getting on the podcast, you were very uncomfortable and didn't really want to do it. And look how far you've come. I mean, that is amazing. Because I even promised that if you didn't like it, we would just delete it and not do anything with it. You're the only person I've ever done that for, though. So
I know, and I appreciaed that so much.
So did that alleviate some of the pressure so that you felt better doing it?
Absolutely. Yeah. Just kind of remove that one piece that seemed so big in the moment.
Yeah. Because when you think about it, when it comes to like being a guest on a podcast and stuff, you a lot of times, I know for myself, it's like there's this unknown. I don't know who's going to see it. What am I saying? Did I say something that I shouldn't have said?
Right. Exactly.
glad that you had this during Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Yes, and Wendy is doing is it a breast cancer awareness luncheon that you're doing next week? I think it is. There's such a delay on this. Well, she'll tell me in a minute, but I think we talked a little bit about it this morning. But yeah, when it comes to the podcast and everything, especially in the very beginning, I would be very anxious because I was on a few that they sent me questions ahead of time. This is exactly what I'm going to ask. And that felt good in the moment. But then later on, it felt like, but I didn't get to say me, you know?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's one of the reasons why I decided when I started my podcast that there were going to be no preconceived questions. I wasn't going to send anything. It was just, let's just have a conversation and see where it goes. And Wendy says, yes, it's next week that she's doing that. Her and one of her friends that is also in the group, they're doing this together.
That's so cool.
Yeah. And Wendy is a breast cancer survivor too. She had,
I think she said she
had the markers for it, right? And then she had, I think she had her breast removed, if I'm remembering
right. Was the BRCA gene.
Yeah. So why don't we go ahead and I'll let you start telling just a little bit about you. Scares Away Cancer Halloween Party. Scare Away Cancer Halloween Party. Oh, that's what it is. Hey, I love it. I love it.
So cool.
And you know what's funny is when I was writing out this, what this is about and everything, I made sure that I had a lowercase for cancer because I didn't feel like it deserved a capital.
I like that too.
Yeah.
So
anyway. Yeah. So I figure, it can always have a lowercase. I'm good with that.
Yes, I agree.
Yes.
No big C for that.
No. So go ahead. If you don't mind, you can tell a little bit about you and your experience that you had with cancer, anything that you want to share right now. That would be perfect.
Hello to everyone out there. I'm Heather, and I am a 2-time cancer survivor, colorectal cancer that spread to the lungs. And the journey started in 2018. It really has not stopped. It's just kind of transformed into the life in remission, which has its challenges as well. But, when I went through this journey, I was faced with a lot of things that happened. Obvious things like chemo, radiation, surgeries, things like that. But I also was hospitalized for over 20 times in 2020 with intestinal blockages. I had a surgery for a wound that wasn't healing due to radiation that resulted in paralysis of my leg. I have neuropathy that is progressive and untreatable. So, there's a lot that came from that cancer diagnosis and the journey. But in that journey, in the beginning of that journey, I've always been someone who was spiritually led and that sought out holistic modalities. I feel that Western and Eastern medicine can kind of work together. So, one of my mentors who became a mentor of mine, she introduced me to energy therapy and PMF therapy. And those really helped me with my paralysis, helped me just kind of navigate.
Do you still have the paralysis now?
I'm not paralyzed. I can walk. But I have extreme numbness, tingling and pain it started in my left leg. That's the leg that was paralyzed. So the left leg has, the best way I can describe it is if you crossed your legs and sat like that for an hour, that extreme tingling and pain,
Like
pressure.
it's falling asleep and then you're
The
trying to wake
worst
it up.
fall asleep, but
Yeah.
times 10.
Okay.
And I can't feel my foot. So when I walk, I can't feel my foot. I've trained my brain to just kind of go heel toe, heel toe, heel toe. I don't even think about it.
Mm-hmm. Isn't the brain amazing?
It is amazing.
Yeah.
It is amazing. And it is progressive. So it has started to go into my right leg. Not quite as bad, not nearly as bad. But like I said, the PMF therapy is one of the reasons why I can walk and was able to get at least beyond the paralysis piece of it. And, along with all of that, there's the physical things that you encounter. It's the physical symptoms and side effects, but the emotional and mental can almost be bigger than that, just because of how much it consumes you and how much it can control you. And I saw your actually just saw it before I came on here, your post, or no, it was Wendy's post about perspective in the group.
Mm-hmm.
That is huge. I mean, that's something, what I was saying to you earlier before we started, and you have the name Master of Habit Change. I was thinking mindset guru, Heather, the mindset guru.
Ooh, I like it. I like it.
Because, I started doing affirmations, just writing my own affirmations and journaling about them, and started meditating, and, really came to realize how much mindset has so much to do with, it's so interconnected. It's so connected to the physical.
Oh, yeah.
And like, if you can heal the mind, you can heal the body.
Yeah, the body follows suit. That's because that's one of the things that I talk about a lot is, it's our mindset about everything. If you believe something and you say something, your subconscious mind is going to say, okay, let's just make it work that way. And so it's really powerful. And like when I first started having the issue with my hip, instead of immediately going to the doctor, and I'm not saying don't go to the doctor, but this is what works for me, is the first thing when something shows up, it's like, okay, what is my mindset right now? When it first started hurting, what was going on within me that caused it to be painful? Because I feel like, God whispers in your ear. He gets a little louder and a little bit louder and a little bit louder. And if you're not paying attention, here comes the baseball bat. And then, then it's like, okay, I've been telling you for a while that you needed to change this. So now change it. And so when my hip really got to be a problem to where it was waking me up at night and I couldn't hardly walk, and there was so much that it was like, okay, I got to figure this out. Now I did go to the chiropractor, but then I started working with energy. And it's like when I really started diving into all of that and then spending more time journaling and doing all those things. I mean, my hip's not 100% by any means right now. I can still feel a twinge every now and then, but oh my God, it's like night and day. Yeah. And the only thing I did was work on my mind.
Yes.
And it was like, so there's so much that our mind affects things, our beliefs affect things.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
And, if you don't mind, I was kind of writing, I'm always writing something, but I wrote something that I think kind of aligns with just what we're talking about.
Okay.
And I just wrote, for me, mindfulness was and still is a key to my healing. I truly believe that where the mind goes, the body follows. The mindset you choose determines your focus, and your focus shapes your perspective. If that perspective is loaded with negative energy, it influences everything: how you speak to yourself, how you see your situation, and the choices you make to deal with it.
Yeah.
Just kind of aligns with that. And I mean, that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. That's what my mission and my vision is. That's where it came from, because I see what shifting my mindset and healing my mindset has done. It doesn't mean it takes everything away. It doesn't mean it fixes everything, but it shifts the mind to, like, I like to call them little nuggets. If you can find little nuggets of joy, if you can find little nuggets of gratitude, if you can find little nuggets of things that just light you up, that tiny little piece can shift a situation. If you're sitting in a chair getting chemo, you can't just you could get up and leave, but you're going through that. But what can you do while you're sitting there? Right.
Yeah.
And so in those moments, find those nuggets, find those nuggets to kind of bring you that little bit of joy, that little bit of happiness, that little bit of something to kind of shift your mind from, oh, here I am sitting here, I'm getting this poison in me, in that particular case, and in other respects too, it's how you are how you're perceiving what is happening is huge. And for me, I had a message, kind of just whispered to me at the beginning of when I was first diagnosed that said, Heather, this is happening for you, not to you.
Yeah.
And that says, volumes.
Yeah.
You can see it from that perspective.
And, that's one of the reasons why that I asked you to come on the podcast when I did, was because my podcast was all about people's stories. And so to me, anytime I heard somebody's story of this is where I was, this is what I went through, and now look at me, it was like I would get blown away with the resilience of the human spirit and the ability for the bodies to heal and to adjust and become something different. Like I've had people that had their foot amputated, then their knee, all the way up to their knee and everything. And that gentleman, he was the first person I had on my podcast. And he looked at me and he said, that's the best thing that ever happened to me because it changed my life. Mm-hmm. And when he said that, I thought, oh my God, this is amazing for people to have something horrific happen to them. Mm-hmm. What the rest of us would say is horrific, right? And he felt like it was a gift. So it was beautiful. Let's see. Wendy says, where did it go? She says, Heather, I believe that helping heal others helps heal you. And that she says, my group refers to chemo as sacred juice, not poison. Ooh,
I like that.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Yep.
You can steal that. You can start calling it that.
Yes. Yep. Word choice is huge too. Word choice.
Yeah. I'm always saying, let's rephrase the way we're saying things, because sometimes we're saying things that makes us the victim.
Yes.
And there's no way you can heal as a victim.
No. Yeah. People hear my story, and when I really dive into it, which we don't have enough time for that, but people will often say, how are you smiling? How could you possibly say this is happening, for you? How could you be dealing with all of these side effects, chronic things now? And I mean this wholeheartedly, and it's, how could I be on this journey to do what I am here to do if I didn't?
Yeah.
Because I've always known about mindset. I've always been someone who's more positive, innately, but I never really got mindset until this diagnosis. And it's like, I wouldn't have gone through it the way that I did had I not learned that and applied that. And I wouldn't be able to do what I'm on a mission to do now, because, people are like, oh, but now you have, this neuropathy in your leg, and you are unable to do things that you enjoyed doing before. I'm like, yeah, but there's so many other things I can do that I do enjoy. And it's not only opened up those opportunities for me to help others and to understand, be able to sit with them, knowing exactly, where they're at, but it's also taught me just in life how to just see things differently, to look at things differently, to look at relationships, to look at situations, to look at everything just from a different perspective.
Yeah. I like to say changing our lens of the world, because we're we're looking through a lens that's filtered with all the crap that we've dealt with our whole life, the limiting beliefs that people have put upon us and that we've accepted. And so to me, it's like we've taken Vaseline and we've just wiped it on our glasses. And so we can't see things. We can see little bits and pieces. Maybe we can make out colors. Maybe we can, but we cannot get the full gist of it. But you take that Vaseline off those glasses and clean it and make them pristine. Man, oh man, can the world be beautiful, right? It's all in what we're doing. So hold on. She says, let's see. We've got some other people watching right now. So if you want to pop in and say hello and have a question or a statement or anything that you would like to say to Heather, then please do so. Wendy says, my husband had spine surgery in 2017 and has neuropathy in his feet. It's only now beginning to be a little better. Wow. Well, thank goodness it's getting better, right?
Yeah, that's awesome.
So now we've talked a little bit about your cancer journey, not much, but the focus to me is how much you've changed since then, right? Because like I was sharing earlier, was it while we were on? I don't even remember. Yeah, about the podcast, and she couldn't get on the pod, or she was apprehensive about being on the podcast, and then you came into the group and you've been doing a lot with that. Do you want to maybe touch on that just a little bit? Your experience?
I mean, when I first met you was in our coaching alumni group, and you posted about a podcast, doing a podcast, and that's how I connected with you. And then you invited me to the Stacy world.
Yeah.
And, it's been a wonderful, amazing journey since then. But, you were the first person that I signed up to go on a podcast. And then once I did, I thought, oh my goodness, what did I just do? What could I possibly have to say that anyone wants to hear about, outside of, just my story? And, it got inside my head, of course, that happens. And, the fact that you were so kind and just heard me, saw me, and said, hey, we can kind of adapt this to make it more comfortable, but yet still kind of nudge you out of your comfort zone. And that's what we did. And I survived. In fact, I thought it was amazing. I enjoyed it. And I went on to do 2 more. And I'm, because of you kind of gently nudging me, I now am looking for more podcasts to be guests on. I'm going to do a podcast. I just kind of have to think about that a little more, just as far as what exactly I want it to be focused on. And also being in your group, there's something about community. There's something about, being among other people who are on their own journey, but yet walking next to you.
Yeah.
And they're there to support you, to give you that gentle nudge, maybe to collaborate with you. And so it really helped to boost my confidence even more so. It got me excited about these things. It helped me to express myself, find my voice. And that honestly also kind of segued me into doing the Find the Voice challenge, and now looking at potentially writing a book. And I have all these things, and seeing your growth and seeing you get out there, and I like to call it do it afraid. I mean, you do that. Well, you're probably not afraid much anymore, but
I can still get afraid.
Get out there and do it. You just do it, and it's awesome. Like today, I would never have gotten on that. I probably wouldn't have ever joined that other challenge that I'm in, that you're in as well. I definitely wouldn't have gotten on and said with bad hair. But I got on there today and I said, bad hair, don't care. And so it just really gave me that support and that confidence, and also just that inspiration to to just take that step out. Just keep stepping out of that comfort zone, even if it's a toe first,
Yeah.
whole foot, half the body, whatever I needed to do. And that there was no pressure to do it any certain way or how big or how small, but just do it. And so now, I mean, I just started, gosh, when did I open it up? 2 weeks ago now, my own group. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a huge step for me. So yeah, I mean, that's where I'm at now. And I do attribute a lot of that to having that first conversation with you and getting that nudge from you to do a podcast.
Oh, thank you. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. It's like my baby's growing up.
Yeah, absolutely. You should be happy. You should be proud.
Yeah. So the thing that is important about this, there's so much important about this, but the thing that touches me is that, I saw you in this other group and saw something about your story and reached out. And so there are so many times that we might want to reach out to someone and we don't because we have our own fears inside. And so thinking about that, if I hadn't reached out to you and had you come on my podcast, you probably would have still done all this stuff eventually or whatever, right? But it was like something just led me to you. And had me reach out. And I'm so glad I did because it's seeing what you've been able to do and how fearful you were when I first talked to you. It's like night and day. And so anytime somebody's wanting to reach out to someone, I want to encourage you to still reach out, because even if you're afraid, you might be the one person that's going to say something or help them step outside of themselves a little bit more. And, so you're doing them a disservice by holding back. And, there was a lot of times in my life that I've held back completely for fear of, what if you'd said no, and I finally got to the place where it doesn't matter. If it's the right time, they'll say yes. And if they don't, you just go on. It's nothing against me. It's just wherever the person is. And so I want to make sure that I say that, so anybody that's watching or listening can think about when they're wanting to reach out to someone to just, even if it's uncomfortable, go ahead and reach out. So one of the things that I'd love for you to do is tell a little bit about your group.
Okay.
And then you can tell them how to get to your group. And maybe if they're like, I know Wendy's had the stuff going on with cancer before, and some of these other people that are watching, maybe they've had a cancer issue, or maybe they know someone who has that could benefit from your group. So anybody can send someone to Heather's group if it feels like it is aligned with them.
No, absolutely. I invite everyone. It's for anyone that's on the cancer journey, whether you're just diagnosed, you're in treatment, you're in remission, or you're a caretaker or a loved one, because it affects all areas of the journey, and it affects everyone that's involved in that journey. And what the community is, it's a safe space, where the focus is on the mind, the power of the mind, the power of mindset, and kind of bringing in methods and coaching and affirmations, journal prompts, and different classes and things like that to just help learn the ways to heal the mind and navigate the mind through the journey. And it's, I wanted it to be a safe space. I wanted it to be a space where people can come, they can be vulnerable, they can be completely authentic. They can come on their worst day, they can come on their best day. It does not matter. And they can know that they're going to be met with love, kindness, support, guidance, no judgment.
Yeah. Beautiful. I love that. The no judgment is a biggie, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Because most of the time in our lives, we've gone through school, we've gone through all these stuff where maybe we've got up and said something and people laughed, or, you know, nope, you're wrong. And then they make a big deal of it and everything. So people get very anxious sometimes just being in a group. And that's what I love about the groups that we have created, is that it is more of it's a safe space. It's a place where everybody can come in and share and get guidance in some way. And so it's beautiful. Wendy says, good luck with the group.
Thank you, Wendy. Yeah. I mean, it's like a lot of people, it kind of aligns with what you're saying about, you know, to come and speak, say what you're feeling, be vulnerable, be where you are, don't be afraid or do it afraid, because even in my group, it's that everyone, you might be on that same cancer journey, but it's individual. You're an individual. It's not going to be exactly the same. And you don't know if you coming in and you sharing something that maybe you think no one's going to want to hear about this, or this is ugly, or this is whatever it might be, that might be exactly what someone else is in the background dealing with, or wanting to say something, or wanting to ask a question, or wanting support or guidance on how to navigate that. And in my group, navigate that through mindset. And maybe they're not ready or don't feel comfortable saying something. And if that other person who is feeling the same does say something, that just opens up a whole.
Yeah, because then they know they're not alone. And that's what makes most people feel weird, is because they feel like nobody else is feeling or experiencing what they're experiencing.
There's a lot of isolation. There can be a lot of feeling of isolation, and it doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be that way for anybody. You know?
So how many people are in your group right now? Do you know?
16.
And you just started it 2 weeks ago?
Yes.
Yeah. Nice. Well, it's going to grow. It's going to keep growing. We all have to start at one. Yes. Right?
Yes.
And then it just keeps growing from there. And so I really feel like it's going to grow with leaps and bounds with you and your story, and especially sharing in groups and everything is going to let people see how amazing you are and how amazing your group would be.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So let's see. Anybody have any questions or anything? We've got a few people that are watching, but where did it go? Where'd it go? There we are. I completely lost it. Does anybody have any questions or anything for Heather before we go ahead and close up shop for the night? We'll give them just a second.
I wanted to leave a little something. One of the things that I've.
Oh yeah.
How can I share that with people that were
on? Is it a digital product? Okay. So if you want, you can post it in the comment, and then I will copy it over there. I think I can.
Post it in the comments in StreamYard? Okay.
Her group is called Brighter Days Cancer Mindset Community. It's the thing that she's got up above, below her name on her picture.
Now I don't know if I go out of here, if I can can I, once we're done, can I put it in here?
Yeah. Why don't we do it this way? Anybody that wants to have a copy of this digital product, she's going to tell you what it is. Just put me in the comments on Facebook, and then you can go back and you can message each one of those people.
Okay.
Sound good?
Yes.
So go ahead and tell us what it is.
I'm very artistic and creative. So one of the things that I've been working on is with my affirmations, I create coloring, like adult coloring book designs that kind of go with the affirmation and have a space for journaling. So I wanted to share one of those with everyone.
Okay, well, that sounds very cool. Very cool. So what we'll do is when we get finished, you can go back, and if you want to just put it in the comments, you can put it in the comments, or you can actually just message each person privately and give them the link.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anybody that wants to get Heather's affirmation journal prompt, coloring book, journal, just put me in the comments, and then she'll make sure that she sends it to you free of charge, just for being here today. And I'm assuming you will, anybody that watches the replay, they will get it as well. Yeah, okay, beautiful.
Yes.
So when if you're watching the replay, you can put #replay, and then you can put me in there as well, and then she will make sure that she gets it to you.
Absolutely.
All right. So was there anything that we didn't talk about that you had a little twinge in your mind that, oh, I want to make sure I say this?
I don't think so. I think I pretty much.
Okay, beautiful, beautiful. Well, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. And we'll all keep watching your progress, because it is a beautiful journey. And I'm so grateful that I had reached out and that I met you, because I think you are changing people's lives. And then I know you've gotten into some of the other groups that we're all a part of, and you're spreading the love. And so it's beautiful.
Thank you. I am just so happy to have connected with you too. I definitely wouldn't have entered this world, this, community of worlds without you. So,
oh, thank you. And Wendy says she's definitely interested. So she's asked, do you sell them?
Well, this is like one piece of it. So once it's all done, yes, I will. I have another coloring book journal that is complete, and that is on my website. That is for sale.
All right. So, do you want to share what your website is?
Sure. It's www.healingwhisper with a WHISPUR.com.
All right.
Yeah. I've got the journal on there. I have an cancer affirmation card deck that I created that's on there. And I have an ebook entitled A Healed Mind Heals the Body. That's on there as well.
All right. Beautiful. All right. So you can put that in the comments as well, so people can check out your website and see what other things you have available.
Sounds wonderful.
All right. So thank you for being here again. I appreciate you, and I appreciate everybody that's here, and the people that watch the replay. I appreciate you as well. And so I will see you guys tomorrow at 9 a.m. as per usual, and I will see you then.
Thank you.